Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's Kimberly here at this corner of the kingdom where we do cash stuffing and budgeting and talk a little bit about scripture as we try to live the life that I believe God has certainly blessed us with. We are here in the beautiful Catskills in New York. I am a nurse. My husband Bob is a pastor, and this is my cash stuffing for this week. I did want to tell you guys, I have to apologize. I've been absent and not looking at videos. Bob had his hip replacement last Friday. It has been an adventure, shall we say, and this week has just been really challenging for me to try to be a caregiver as well as take care of things here around the house. And Bob is a pastor, so the pastor's wife got to preach last week. And the pastor's wife will be preaching this week as well. So I would appreciate any prayers that you could send my way for that. It is certainly not my forte, does not come easily to me. But I was reflecting on the scripture that I used this past Sunday, which is a story post-resurrection. It's the road to Emmaus. And lots of people, I'm sure, have given messages on how we don't recognize Jesus when he's within our midst. And I think that that is all sadly accurate. But what I tried to look at this story in a slightly different way, and I really believe that it is kind of our roadmap for our Christian faith. Jesus, he was walking with these two people who were Cleopas and possibly Cleopas' wife, according to some of the commentary I read. He was listening to them and hearing their grief and their sadness over what had happened. And then he did ask them questions. He did try to find things out from them. And then he, in my humble opinion, kind of opened his Bible, not literally, obviously, but figuratively. And he basically quoted a scripture all the way from Moses up into his crucifixion and resurrection. He then sat down and had a meal with them, which of course is similar to our communion service. And then he was gone. And so when I tried to flip it and look at that as Jesus kind of modeling behavior for us, it makes me think how perhaps I can be a better, do better at sharing my own faith. And I think that if you kind of follow his instructions where you just walk with someone who's going through a tough time, just be there for them, ask questions to let them know how much you are concerned about them, be with them in that time and try to let them know how much you love them. And obviously always be ready with scripture so that if the opportunity presents and you can share scripture, you should always have a couple verses kind of in your back pocket. Or perhaps you just share your own salvation story. Certainly, everybody we know likes to eat. So if there's an opportunity for you to share a meal with someone, that certainly is also part of this story. And then finally, when Jesus disappears and these people who were in Emmaus ran back to Jerusalem, they had the opportunity to share their faith and to share the story of Jesus, to share the good news. So anyway, that was just sort of a little summary of what I talked about last Sunday in church. And I would certainly encourage you to read Luke 24, beginning at the 13th verse, the road to Emmaus. So I hope that that story is a blessing to you, as it certainly was to me. All right, that being said, let's get right to our stuffing. Things have been just a little crazy around here, needless to say, this week. So I don't know how this is going to be. But going through my wallet, I do have a few dollars left in gas. We certainly didn't do as much driving this week as we normally do. In outreach, I still have $5 that will simply roll over, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Spending has $1 left, so that will go there. It's my bank envelope. Everything else is empty. Buffer, groceries, and giving are all empty. So starting with gas, I will put my usual 40 in there. I do go back to work on Monday, so things should become somewhat back to normal at that point. Outreach already has a 5 in it, and I will be putting only 20 in. We will not be going to outreach for a couple weeks till Bob is a little better. So outreach now has 25. I also was able to pay on Venmo. I put some money towards the rent for the building that we sometimes use when it's raining outside. So I did put money towards outreach that way, even if we can't physically be there. Spending will get its usual 10. Bank, of course, gets nothing. That's to take money back to the bank. My buffer envelope will also get its usual 10. Groceries will get its usual 10. Guys, I've been thinking about maybe using this grocery envelope as like my stock-up envelope, like if I go somewhere and there's like a really good deal. So I'd be interested to know if you guys have a stock-up envelope in your wallets. And giving will get its usual 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm always happy when this envelope is empty because it means that hopefully I've been able to help someone who was in need in the moment. Sorry, I just have to straighten this money out. I have to tell you, when I got it from the bank, holy cow, it was like 20 different directions. It took me forever to straighten that out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into giving. I'm thinking that tomorrow, because Bob is feeling better, that I might do a video on my blessing bags. So if you guys think that's something that you would be interested in, just drop it in the comments below and then look for it. All right, that finishes our wallet for this week. So going on to our first binder. And there's that pretty dashboard that I got from Autumn Budgets from Psalm 5. So starting with birthday gifts, let me just get my little cheat sheet out here. These, the first 4 months of the year are already passed, but since this is my high time for birthdays, I'm going to put 15 in. So birthdays now has 10, 15, and 20. That's for January through April. Our next one is for May, June, July, August. This is a big time for us in terms of the number of birthdays. So this will be getting 20 and 5. And so we now have 50, 70, 90, and 95. Is that right? Yes, it is. So we are hopeful to actually finally celebrate Easter this weekend. Of course, with Bob being a pastor, the holidays are always kind of crazy, so we always celebrate on the off weekend. This is more off than usual because of his surgery. So we will have a house full of company this weekend. And so this third birthday envelope, sorry, my fingers don't want to work, it's getting 5 today. And this is for September, October, November, December birthdays. And so this now has 10, 20, 30, 35, and 40. So anyway, I still have a lot of Easter stuff out here, and that's, I'll be anxious to get that all put away after this weekend. Education gets its usual 60, 20, 40, and 60. And so education for the kids and grands now has 20, 40, 60, 81, and 120. We do use this for our grands who are in college, as well as lunch money for some of the littles. Clothing today is getting $10. Decided I need to start stuffing this guy because I'm going to need some things coming up. So that now has $10. Health, we're skipping for today. Beauty, as I mentioned, this is just for haircuts for Bob and I, and he did get his haircut before surgery, thank goodness, because tonight was the first night he was actually able to shower. So beauty now has 50, 70, oops, 90 and 100. So that will be for my haircut, which I was hoping to get done this week, but it didn't happen. I don't know if it will happen. Gas, this is for the extra gas money. As I mentioned, we do budget $80 a week, and that is empty, so it will get its usual 20 for this week, or excuse me, 40, 2 20s. And then last in this binder is groceries, and it is going to get its usual 10. This is like an extra little envelope, 10.25, if I should need anything that isn't in our already budgeted grocery money. Okay, and that is that binder done. And we'll go on to this binder. All right, and this is sort of my sinking funds for bills. So our pet envelope will be getting 10. I did take some out of there to get treats for my little fur babies, so it now has 10, 15, and 20. And pet emergency, which is next, will also be getting its usual 10. Hoping that we don't have any pet emergencies anytime soon. Whoops, got 2 of them there. So it now has 10, 20, and 30. That does not want to go in there. All right, and then pool. This is one of our goals, is to get a pool in our yard, and it will get its usual 100. And so pool, by the way, this is my prop money. Pool now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 50, 55. Oops. 50, 75. Sorry about that. 875 in pool. Guys, you might remember I had those fun stick-on nails the last time I did this video, trying to help Bob out. That did not last very long at all, so they are now off. But they sure were fun while I had them. All right, this is savings. This will get its usual 100, so we now have $300 in savings. And I'll probably make a trip to the bank this week and put some more cash in, because I don't like to have a ton of cash hanging around here. Remodeling, as I mentioned, we're not doing anything crazy, but paint and some laminate, it is going to get 20, so it now has 20, 30, 40, 45, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. And now that Bob's all straightened out, there's a lot of stuff that we would certainly like to get busy on at the house here. Not that he'll be able to do anything for a few months, but I feel like I can concentrate a little bit more on it. It's another one of those pretty dashboards from Autumn Budget, spray cans with the verse from Matthew. Oil, I was happy to tell you that when I was in the basement doing some laundry, I did take a minute and looked at the oil tank, and we have over half a tank, so I think we will be good for that for now. I do put $65 in every time, so there's 50, 60, and 5. Oil now has 51, 150, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, and 95. So that puts us at 195. That's a nice start for our next oil fill. Going on to propane, which we don't use very much at all in this house. This will get $10. I've decided when I get to 500 on this, this will be fully funded. It is now at 50, 60, 70, 80, and 85. We only fill about every 2 years on that propane tank, so we have plenty of time to get that up and moving. Terminix, which we have a contract with, will be getting 25 this week. They'll be coming again in June. So Terminix now has 50, 70, 90, 105, is that right? Yep, 105. It's 149 when they come by, so when we get to 150, that will also be fully funded. Lawn maintenance, this is to get our lawn mowed in the summer and plowed in the winter. The same wonderful man does it for us, and so it is getting its usual 25. And so it now has 50, 70, 90, 95, and 100. So that will take care of one whole mowing for us the first time he comes. Guys, how's your weather been? It was kind of crazy here. And by the way, yes, we did have an earthquake. I was actually sitting in the car in the parking lot waiting to be able to go up to see Bob and Didn't know what the heck was happening, so that was interesting. Car maintenance is getting its usual 25. It now has 1, 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. So did you guys feel the earthquake where you were? My kids immediately started texting me like, what the heck is going on? And of course, a few days later, we had that beautiful eclipse, which I was able, thankfully, to go out and on the deck and look at for a few minutes with my safety glasses. Housing. This is not actually for our housing, but rather a house maintenance, and it's getting 50, so we're at 100. Yeah, so our visibility was pretty good here. We did get cloud cover at the end, but got to see quite a bit of it, and that was sure a treat. Entertainment, this is for our Prime when it comes due in December. So I do budget sub every month. So Prime now has 20, 30, 40, and 45. I just say entertainment because it's pretty much our entertainment here in this corner of the kingdom. All right, and then we move on to debt. And as you know, when I have extra ones in my wallet, as I did this week, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I do put them in this debt envelope, and it now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And this will just be money that we will throw at either the car or the house at the end of the year. So let me write that in there. So I'll be anxious to see. That's a new binder, new envelope for me. I'll be anxious to see how that adds up by the end of the year. And then last but not least, we have our holiday type binder. And I'm still stuffing Easter a little bit so that if I have to run to the store at the end of the week, I have plenty of money, 20, 40, and 45 for that. I don't know if I'll need anything. And in fact, that might just remain there for next year, but we will see. Summer holidays, which, oh my goodness, I just can't wait for them to be here, is getting 10. It now has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 55. As I've mentioned before, that will be to fill our propane tank, maybe get some lawn furniture, who knows. Food for Thanksgiving and Christmas, this will be getting its usual 10. And it now has 20, 40, 50, and 60. So that's stuck in. So, you know, guys, I was thinking like how quickly this is adding up, just doing $10 every time I get paid. I only started this envelope in February, and we're already at $60 without using any kind of excessive stuffing. So interesting when you make a habit of putting a little money aside every time, how it can really add up quickly. This is Christmas event. This is what my sister and I do with our families. It's getting its usual 25. This has 100, 120, 140, and 150. I think when I get to 600, I'm going to consider that fully funded. I have to go back and look and see what we actually spent. And then this is just regular old Christmas. This is everything. This is shopping. This is wrap. This is gifts. It's whatever. So it's getting its usual 150. And now that has 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 850, oops, 9 and 950. Yep, that is correct. So when Christmas comes, we won't be breaking the bank here because we have all of that set aside. Okay, so then the last thing I have to do is my penny jar. This is my penny challenge. Oh, goodness. And so for this week, we are doing, starting here on the 16th. So I am doing the rest of the week, and then I'm doing the next week starting the 21st. And when I added all of that up, it came to $10.11. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and my 11 cents here. So I will drop that in. And I do not count this because we will not count till the end of the year, but I believe that the end of the year we should have somewhere around $667. So that's a nice little thing to keep put aside there to throw at our debt as well. Okay, that's the end of our stuffing. I hope that this has been helpful for all of you. I hope that all of your savings journeys are going beautifully, and I will certainly try to get that blessing bag video up tomorrow. We will see. It will depend on my sweet husband, how he is feeling. And I wish you all a really blessed week in your little corner of the kingdom.